Hey guys, my name is Jacob with the CryptoHub, and I kind of wanted to cover a little bit more in depth on my personal opinion and how on Bitcoin's price action over the last let's go month, and what decisions I've made based upon what I've seen. All right, so a month ago we started at $6,000 per Bitcoin. And as someone that joined in Bitcoin around $2,000, I thought this was nuts. We'd seen such insane growth. Just looking from where we had our little bear market right here, this little correction from 4,000 to 3,000. I knew Bitcoin would take off, but I didn't know how much it would go parabolic by. So anyways, we just had this nice little climb right here, and we get to around 4,000, and I'm like, all my friends that had previously kind of dismissed Bitcoin were starting to listen a little bit, and then it hits 5,000, and people were just paying attention like crazy. And then it hits 6,000. People are going ludicrous, and has a little correction here back down to 5,400, and it kind of stabilizes again. We hit 6,000, and then this run up blew my mind. In the course of, what is that, 1029 to a week, we go from 6,000 to 7,500. Everyone's feeling really good. Then we get a little bit of bad news, boom, and then this market correction that was relatively scary, quote unquote, because we've had so many small dips and small corrections. So to me, it wasn't that bad, because though I do some trading, I mostly do investing, and so I didn't really touch anything here when it dipped down about $2,000. In fact, I wish I would have had more fiat available so I could have bought into this price. I mean, hindsight is 2020, but that little dip there was just bad news. It was November, something strange. So anyways, we get back up, and it's climbing 8,000. And I'm like, okay, given what it's done for a while, it's hit these like big new numbers and then come back down, then go up a little higher, have a new all-time high, have a correction, find support at its old all-time high, kind of go up from there. We had, a couple sell-offs here and there as people are taking out their profits, and it kind of stabilizes. So we have from the 20th until the 25th, where things are just kind of sitting around 8,000. And then Thanksgiving happens. People have conversations with their family, and over the next few days, we have this insane run up from 8,000 to 11,000 in about 4 days. That's easily $50 billion just pumping into Bitcoin. And as soon as we hit 10,000, I was fairly confident that people's sell orders were just placed there from months ago, and so we would just hit a big sell wall and probably start struggling. But the freaking, oh man, Asian countries just went off. As soon as it hits that 10,000, they took it all the way up to 1150. I mean, just a few hours. It was mind-boggling. And then we have this, big candle down here, which was, a bad omen. And I knew we needed a pullback. We needed to come back down and kind of chill out this rise a little bit, because it just wasn't really sustainable. I'll zoom out in a second to show you guys how insane this growth is. But when we got around here, I was thinking about cashing out, especially when it went above 10K, because I knew there had to be at least some sort of a correction. And so as we got to about right here or so, I just had this gut feeling that I needed to, all my money not tied up in other places, I needed to liquidate and buy back in when the correction was through, or at least when this bearish trend was over. And so we had this massive sell-off all the way down here, and I was like, all right, well, maybe I'll buy back in here, but let's wait a little longer. So it comes back to 10K, everyone seems pretty calm, and then it sells off, and then it comes all the way back up to almost 11,000, so 10,540. And one of my roommates says, I'm pretty sure it's just going to keep going. And I'm like, no, we still need a market correction. We've been pretty overextended in terms of the growth it's been unstably high, which just creates volatility. And because when people bought after a big holiday, a lot of these people are just buying to see gains and not really buying in order to understand the value of Bitcoin and be able to create your own banking system. They don't understand the technology behind it, and they're just buying to buy. And I think someone in one of the Telegram groups I'm in said it's all about getting out weak hands, right? So when people come in and they don't understand that this is a long-term play for sure, but also a societal change that needs to happen in order to give more power to people and individuals. I just knew we needed this correction. And so it comes back down, and so it's funny because my roommate walks up this morning and he's like, all right, who's right? I was like, well, technically you got this bit right, but then I was kind of correct about this. They're just, Data Dash was talking about all these sell walls that were put up where what I predicted back at 10,000, or at least what I was assuming would happen then, happened. Right around here, and now we're sitting here and we're struggling to find support at around 9,200. I personally, this is not financial advice, I'm not your financial advisor, but I put in sell orders all the way down to about 7,000. I truly think we could have a big 50% market correction. That hasn't happened in, let's say, 6 months or so. We've had 30, 40%, but we haven't had that big of a market correction. But I think given how overextended we are in terms of our growth, it could happen. I still see us dropping down at least to like 8,600, if not a little bit lower. This is not the most, I'm not a perfect person when it comes to technical analysis, but this does not bode well for people wanting to buy in. Just think of it from the perspective of someone that doesn't understand Bitcoin. When you see the price drop, it generally doesn't make you want to buy in. I think the reason people were so ecstatic, and this is why this was created right here, was because over the holidays, they had seen nothing but growth. Because when you look at it from this perspective, comparative to 11,000, when people bought in, even at 7,000, that's crazy growth. And so just hearing those big numbers, people got really excited and they probably bought in. I'm sure a lot of them were selling off out of fear. But when we look at the year, when you start out at less than 1,000 and you end up, and we're probably going to end up around 10,000, the growth is just astronomical. It is unbelievable. I'm even going to pull up CoinMarketCap, which is a website. That was TradingView, by the way. CoinMarketCap is where I personally like seeing trends and whatnot. The 7-day for almost every token has been pretty insane. I think everyone just really got a lot of rallying hope after the ridiculous, almost Thanksgiving push, as I want to call it. And I feel like this right here just tells the story. Little dips, low growth, and then this year has just taken off. And I think it's healthy for it to, sit, let's say like 250, 275 billion. We just had so much growth in such a little short amount of time. I mean, at the beginning of the month, we were sitting at 200. I think going back there or a little bit above isn't too unrealistic. It's just so the way people perceive it will be a little bit more in tune with what's really going to happen. I think there's a lot of great technical analysis on there. I'm just kind of sharing the way I personally feel about this little bearish trend that's happening and the moves I've made. I personally recommend a few YouTube channels. Box Mining, he does daily content and as well as coverage. Ian Bellina, He does a lot of ICOs. Oh Hey Maddie, a lot of ICO coverage, as well as one of my personal favorites, Data Dash, who does really great technical analysis, tips, market analysis, and other things. But I just want to share with you guys the way I feel about Bitcoin right now and how I'm approaching this little bearish trend. I'm still incredibly bullish on, like, I see Bitcoin as something that will most likely, to quote McAfee, hit $1 million. I don't see that as unrealistic within the next few years. Even if it grows at half the speed that it's growing right now, I think we're going to be fine. The technology behind blockchain is pretty incredible, and I think as that develops and as it penetrates the market, we're going to see some pretty great growth. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to share a little bit about my feelings. I'm Jacob with CryptoHub. Thank you so much for watching.